Welcome to the definitive guide on No Man's Sky ships. We got a lot to cover in today's video. I just realized the other day that it's been 3 years since I made a video about ship buying in No Man's Sky, and a whole lot has changed since then. For example, you got these beauties right here. The Corvette was not in the game back then, but nowadays it is, and we got a whole lot to dive into, so let's jump straight on into this video. And I'm going to go over and break down all the ship types in the video, how you can purchase ships, where you find ships, and more. So stay tuned. If you're excited and into this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Got more stuff coming later on in the future. So let's go ahead and just jump in with the Corvette here first. We'll get it out of the way. In my opinion, the Corvette is the way to go for ships in No Man's Sky. Once you're far enough along in a save file that you can comfortably get a Corvette and afford to build one out, it's really the only ship option you should take. There's really not really much else you should do unless you just like some of the ship designs and stuff. And here's why. So a Corvette has many advantages over a standard ship. For example, you just walk in here, you can put, I've got this little plant area over here, I've got a refiner unit here, this is just some sleeping quarters for some looks. You got this little bubbled out hatch here, and you can walk over here. You know, you can build these out as big as you want to. Any design you can think of, you can put in a Corvette. You got the nutrient processor, and then when you go to fly the thing, you go up here and you get in the pilot seat, and let's say you want to fly wherever you'd like to go. Let's just go fly. Let's just take off here. All right. So we're taking off in our Corvette, and I want to go to that planet over there. But while I'm here, I want to do something else. So we're going to go over here. We're going to leave pilot seat, engage autopilot, and it's going to continue to fly us to that planet while I go mess around with my storage here, or I go look out the window because it's a beautiful view. And as you can see, we have arrived on the planet, or at the planet, without me doing anything really else. So that is why, one of the big reasons why Corvette is advantageous. Let me show you another reason that makes the Corvette the best ships, in my opinion. You can load them up to do whatever you want to. You can have lots of storage. You can have all different sorts of things. Essentially, it can be your mobile base because the refiner on here is a large refiner. You don't really need to build a base on the planet anymore once you've got the Corvette. But here's another excellent feature of this thing. Man, this is a beautiful planet. I want you to notice this right here. If we go and we leave pilot seat, this thing's going to level out, all right? And we can go right here, open this hatch, and hop out. And drop down to the planet's surface. You don't have to use launch fuel anymore because your Corvette's going to hover right there until you get ready to leave. Then you just go and you beam right back up to your Corvette at this little teleport module over here. And you're above on the Corvette. No more launch fuel required. Say you want to grab something off the planet's surface, you mark it, you fly over to it, whatever it might be, you bounce around from spot to spot to spot without using launch fuel at all. Super big advantage of the Corvette, probably their largest advantage by far. Now let's go back to the space station. We'll talk about some more Corvette things. So we have arrived at the space station, and now what we want to go over is just exactly how you get a Corvette, how you make one, and sort of the process of how things go. It's very simple. You go up here to this little computer right here. You say, okay, this is a Corvette workshop. If you're just starting and you don't have any modules, you'll have to go to purchase modules, purchase basic modules, and in this screen you will find all the basics that you need to make a Corvette. And I will go ahead and put the number on screen of the minimum, absolute minimum cost that you can get into a Corvette for. I'll go ahead and place that on the screen now. And so just so you're aware of what it costs minimally to get a very basic Corvette. My Corvette here is not basic, as you're going to see. I'm on this save file is on the Corvette Expedition. Highly recommend doing that if you end up having time before, as this video goes out. So I'm using modules and parts that you gather through the Expedition. So that's why my Corvette looks like this. And you can see here the base stats versus the stats that it currently has. In my opinion, the Corvette is going to be the option that you're going to want to strive for everybody. There's going to, you know, I really can't think of a situation where I would want to use something other than a Corvette, except for like outright crazy combat or my exotic class ship if I'm traveling long distances or whatever. There's other situations, but for the most part, your Corvette is going to take care of your generalist thing. Plus, it is super cool being able to build your own ship. Let's be real. The other thing you could do in this screen is trade your modules. So if you want to, say, get this Titan class cockpit because it's an upgrade, you make a swap offer. You toss in some of these other modules. All right. And I don't think I have anything good enough for them to want to trade. No. All right, but if you have some decent modules there, you can sort of trade up and get better modules that way. The other way you can find modules is by going around on planets and searching and finding salvageable scrap, which is the yellow 3-line thing. I'll throw some footage up on the screen of that. You find your salvageable scrap, and you just go from there. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is purchasing regular old ships. As you can see, there's a lot of them here, and we're going to switch over real quick to my save file that has lots of money. Okay, so here we are on my expensive big money save file, and I'm looking around here for a 3-star economy system. You can find that by looking right here in the map. You see the 3 little stars there next to the race that the system is. We're going to go ahead and warp there. It's not entirely necessary to do a 3-star economy system, but there is a higher chance, I believe, that exotics and better ships will spawn there just by the nature of usually in a space station in a higher tier economy system, there's a lot more traffic. So just by the nature of there being a lot more ships, you can find a lot more of the higher class, higher level ships. So we're going to go ahead and go into the space station here, and we're going to show how to buy ships, how to scrap ships for nanites, and all the different little factors that play into this. Now, this method for getting nanites is a lot of units is required, and as you're going to see here once I get to this screen where I'm looking to buy a ship, I don't have any trouble for nanites. This is an exotic ship here. There are several different kinds of exotic ship. If you want an exotic ship, they're going to be an S class. All right, and they're going to be some of the best of the best of the best. You can see that this is valued at 106 million units, and the hyperdrive range in particular on this model where I have it upgraded is 1697 light years, which is a huge jump range. Now we got some ships rolling in. So let's say you're just starting out, you get your Radiant Pillar, you've got like 10-15 million units. I would recommend building a Corvette at that point, probably 15-20. But if you don't want to build a Corvette, you can definitely look into something like this guy here, an Explorer C-Class, 4 million units. Nothing too major. Here's a C-Class shuttle. Again, nothing too major. I recommend if you're upgrading from the Radiant Pillar to look for a fighter. Typically, they are going to be a little bit better of an upgrade. Just make sure you can see, if you look at your scanner here, you can see what the damage potential is currently. You can see how many slots that the ship has and all those things. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to go over here and buy the ship. So essentially what you do is you talk to the pilot. You say, hey, dude, I want to buy your ship because I want to have it. So this is an A-class ship. We're going to say I'm going to buy it and add it to my collection. I do not want to trade in my ship. Definitely not. You know, that would be a horrible trade on my end. So I'm going to buy it for 8.5 million units. You can trade in your ship if that's what you want to do. You can trade it in on your ship. So now we own this ship. This is our ship now. It was that simple. Of course, you have to have the units. As you can see, I've got 505 million. You have to have the units to purchase the ship, so take that into account. Now what you can do, since you purchased the ship, is you can fly it around. You can upgrade it by buying upgrades over here at the upgrade counter, or by buying upgrades through the big hub area. I always forget the name of that thing. The Galaxy Anomaly. Space Anomaly. You can buy upgrades in there, or you can buy upgrades up here by the spaceship guy for nanites. Entirely up to you how you want to proceed with that. If you go here, we'll just talk to this guy and see what he's got. And hang on, purchase upgrade modules. So he has some B. Here's some D. Here's a decent module. So what we'll do, just so you can see how this works, is we'll buy that. All right. So now we're going to go to our inventory. We're going to find that module. We're going to hit install, and you can see here's our ship. We're going to put this in our ship, and it is going to give us a 35% reduction to launch cost and a 32% boost. So very, very nice. Extremely powerful upgrade for the launch thruster. And that's how you upgrade your ship. I got a video coming on how to farm nanites. It's super easy. Everybody can do it. Nothing really complicated on that front. This is one way to get nanites right here. However, if you have essentially infinite units like I do, you can say, okay, I want to salvage this starship. And you can go in here and claim your scrap. And you will get either the scrap worth 5.9 million units, or you can get a reusable customization module depending on if you are trying to upgrade a particular ship or not. We paid 8.5 million here, so if you claim the scrap and do the math, it's a little bit less money, but you get the components to get nanites. You can also, on this screen, go up here to upgrade starship. And if you have the upgrade modules, you can hit apply augmentation. You can change the class of the ship. Because this is an A class, it will cost 50,000 nanites. Or you can purchase storage, in this case, 15 million units. So it's very, very expensive to upgrade these ships in this way. And that's why I said that you should just go ahead and do a Corvette. Really, the Corvettes have kind of taken out the old original ship systems. It really... You can make a specialist ship that's going to be better than a Corvette, but a Corvette is going to be more generally able to do things, and you can upgrade it with you as you go. So we're going to go ahead and scrap this ship here, and I'm going to show you what you get from doing so. Claim the scrap. All right, it's destroyed. We got bunches of little components there you saw, and we got all of these Class A modules. So now, of course, we spent the nanites on the upgrade. Had we not have done that, we would get, it looks like about 900 nanites worth of parts, components here. So we can and should and do scrap ships for nanites. You know, you get, what, 900 there for that 8.5 million units. So you can burn units and turn them into nanites with this methodology. I definitely recommend doing it a bit differently, which I will showcase in a future video. But you can do that and just burn your units and make nanites. Okay, so the final thing I want to show you about ships is how to build a ship like this out of parts. So you can see here, I've just purchased this one here for 20 million units, I think it cost me. It's a Class A fighter, very nice looking ship, right? But let's say I like the design somewhat, but I don't like it 100%. Or let's say that I want to change something up just a little bit. So what I can do is go over here where we were just at, on the Starship Outfitting page. We go down to Salvage. All right. We're going to go down here and extract a customization module. And we can say, I like the wings. Let's go ahead and let's get the wings. So that cost me 20 million units to get this set of wings that I like. But now I go over here and I say, okay, I like the wings. And there you have it. When we build a new ship, we can throw on those wings. So now we can combine different hulls, wings, etc. You can see where that would be ridiculously expensive. Obviously, that's only going to be if you really, really, really want a certain ship design over something else. Again, I recommend really just sticking with the Corvettes, and they're going to be as good unless you have something like this exotic here. You know, the Corvettes are going to do pretty much everything, because a Corvette is going to have almost as many slots as this exotic, and it's going to be able to be customized and do much more things with than just this exotic ship can. And so, for me, I think the Corvette's the best ship system to get in the game. Obviously, you can do all different other things, you know, depending on what you want or what you're looking for or what you need. But those custom ships can get really expensive. I highly recommend for a beginner just sticking with your Radiant Pillar as long as you can, saving up your units, which I'll have a video about how to make units in the future, and then upgrading your ship to something like this exotic or a Corvette whenever you're ready, particularly a Corvette. I really think if you're going to spend in the 10 to 20 million range, a Corvette is the way to go. But hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one, where we're going to talk about something else related to No Man's Sky. Thank you. Have a great day.